Tokyo, the heart of Japan, a city of dazzling lights, high-speed trains, and cutting-edge technology. Every corner whispers progress and life. It rushes forward, unbothered, unstoppable, at every single turn. People say Tokyo never sleeps, but beneath this ever-awake city lies a silence, a haunting stillness that speaks only in the third watch of the night. One part of this sprawling metropolis is Shibuya Station. Every day, millions pass through it, strangers brushing past each other in a blur of motion. But this place, this isn't just a traffic junction. It's a living mechanism where humans move like machines, tirelessly, endlessly. And yet, among them, there are some who never return. They say something strange happens at Shibuya Station. Corridors that don't exist on any map, elevators that open but lead to nowhere. And sometimes, eyes hidden in the crowd, yet fixed on you, watching, always watching. A few of the station's older workers have spoken, their voices shaky, uncertain, claiming to have seen shadowy figures roaming platform number 5, always at night, never in the light. One security guard once reported something even more disturbing. He saw a girl dressed in white, descending the stairs slowly, silently, but she never reached the bottom. She just kept walking down. And the strangest part, nothing is ever recorded on the CCTV. Not a thing. Ahmed didn't come to Tokyo from Pakistan just for education. He came to turn his dreams into reality. He was pursuing his master's degree at Tokyo University. A hard-working, polite, and soft-spoken young man, his days were spent in a fixed routine. Classes, assignments, and a part-time job at a small coffee shop. Every single day felt the same. But in this exhausting life, there was one thing Ahmed deeply loved: the trains of Japan. Their punctuality, their cleanliness, the calm of the platforms. It all felt surreal to him. This city felt modern, yes, but somewhere deep in his heart, he believed there was something ancient, something hidden behind Tokyo's glowing surface. One night, after finishing his shift, tired and quiet as always, Ahmed stepped off at Shibuya Station. Just like he did every day, the station was bright, buzzing. People rushed past each other. Announcements echoed from every corner. But as he turned to head towards the connecting platform, he froze. There, at the far end of the platform, stood a girl, long hair, falling down to her waist, a white dress that fluttered ever so slightly. But the strangest part was her face. It was blurry, like smoke was rising from her skin, veiling her features, and then she looked directly at Ahmed, not through him, at him, and in the very next second, she vanished. Ahmed stood still, completely shaken. At first, he thought maybe it was just fatigue. Maybe he was imagining things. But there was something in that moment. Something inside him cracked. A strange fear took root, one that couldn't be explained in words. A silence louder than sound, a chill deeper than the night. The next day, even after his university classes, Ahmed's mind was still lost in the images of the night before. He couldn't tell if what he had seen was real or just the result of sheer exhaustion. But one thing was certain. That moment had left behind a deep, unsettling restlessness in his heart. Later that evening, he spoke to his Japanese friend Kazu. Kazu was an intelligent and quiet guy, not the talkative kind. But he knew a lot about local culture, traditions, and the urban legends of Tokyo. When Ahmed mentioned Shibuya Station, Kazu at first brushed it off with a shrug. But Ahmed insisted. "I saw something strange that night," he said slowly. "A girl dressed in white. And then she just disappeared." Kazu's face suddenly turned pale. His eyes widened slightly, and for the first time he looked afraid. He leaned in and asked quietly, "You saw the girl in white?" Ahmed froze. "How do you know?" he asked, confused. Kazu glanced around nervously as if someone might be listening. Then, lowering his voice even further, he said, "She appears to outsiders, to foreigners. She only shows herself to those who don't belong here." A chill ran down Ahmed's spine. Every hair on his body stood on end. And then, Kazu told him something that made his heart sink deeper. Shibuya Station, he explained, was built on top of an old cemetery. The piece of that ground, he said, had long been disturbed. "People have disappeared from that place before," Kazu continued. "Some jumped from platforms. Some were never found at all. No bodies, no traces." Ahmed could barely breathe. "And the government?" he asked, almost whispering. Kazu nodded grimly. "They cover it up, always. But the locals, they know. They just don't dare to talk about it." A week had passed. Ahmed hadn't mentioned the girl to anyone. Not to his classmates, not even to Kazu again. But he thought about her every single day. Every night before he fell asleep. And every morning as soon as he opened his eyes. That night, his part-time job had run later than usual. By the time he stepped out, it was already the last hour of the night. Tired and cold, he hurried toward Shibuya Station. The station was unusually quiet, eerily quiet. Only a lone janitor could be seen in the distance, sweeping lazily in a far-off corner. All the platforms around him seemed empty. Ahmed made his way to platform number 3. The moment he stepped onto the platform, a strange chill crept into the air, a cold that sank straight into his bones. Suddenly, the speakers crackled to life. "Train arriving on platform number 3. Please stand behind the yellow line." Ahmed looked around. No train, no sound, no movement, just silence. And then, from far away, a dim light began to glow. Old, flickering headlights, like something emerging from another time. A train slowly pulled into the station, but only one door opened. Inside stood the same girl, dressed in white, long hair falling to her waist, and that same blurred, smoky face. Only this time, her eyes were locked onto Ahmed. He couldn't move. It was like something had taken over his body, as if he was frozen in place. Even breathing became difficult. And then his phone rang. Kazu's name flashed on the screen. The sound of the ringtone snapped something loose inside him. He managed to answer the call, but the moment he did, the girl's eyes turned blood red. The train door slammed shut with a deafening bang, and in the blink of an eye, the entire train turned into smoke and vanished into the air. The next day, when Ahmed arrived at university, his face was pale. Dark circles had formed under his eyes, as if he hadn't slept all night. Kazu saw him from a distance, and didn't need to ask. He already knew. Something had happened again. "You saw her again, didn't you?" Kazu asked softly. Ahmed nodded. This time, silence felt pointless. He had realized one thing. Kazu knew the secrets of this city. And maybe, he was the only one who could help him understand them. Kazu looked around cautiously, then guided Ahmed to a nearby bench. He spoke quietly, his voice heavy with something between fear and truth. "I need to tell you something, but this isn't just a rumor. I've been close to her too," he began explaining. "Beneath Shibuya Station, there's a hidden level, a place no longer meant for today's travelers. Years ago, a terrible accident happened down there. Some say the ground collapsed, and many people were buried alive. Since that day, the entire section was sealed off. But rumors still whisper that sometimes by mistake, or by being seen by something, A traveler slips through, a wrong turn, a mysterious elevator, a door hidden behind a locked gate, and then they vanish. Kazu leaned in and said quietly, "That girl, she belongs to that hidden level." Ahmed's eyes no longer held just fear. They carried a new fire. The terror was still there. Yes, but deeper than that, something stronger was taking shape. A need to uncover the truth. He had made up his mind. He would not stop until he uncovered the secret. A few days later, Ahmed made up his mind. It was time to face the truth. He bought a GoPro camera, strapped it to his chest, and without telling anyone, set out toward Shibuya Station late at night. Only a few passengers remained in the station. Ahmed kept descending. First the escalator, then stairs, then a narrow corridor, until he reached parts of the station that weren't meant for the public. And then he saw it. An elevator stood at the end of the hallway. Old, dusty. A faded yellow sign hung above the door. Restricted access, authorized personnel only. The elevator was open. Inside, there was an eerie stillness. Ahmed took a deep breath and stepped in. The panel displayed the usual levels, B1, B2. But right at the bottom, there was one strange, unfamiliar button. B6, unlisted level. Ahmed pressed it. Suddenly, the elevator shuddered violently, and the lights went out. Everything was pitch black. All he could hear was his own breath and the thunderous pounding of his heart. Then, slowly, a flickering, ghostly light emerged. Like the pale glow of a black and white television, the elevator doors creaked open, and what lay beyond was something out of a forgotten past. A decaying, abandoned platform. The floor was damp. A thick, moldy stench hung in the air. The walls were cracked and rotting, and on them, written in scorched, faded letters, "Those who enter never return." A cold line of sweat trickled down the back of Ahmed's neck. Ahmed pressed the record button on his GoPro. The tiny red light blinked steadily in the dark. He took a deep breath, trying to calm himself, and began walking forward, slowly, cautiously. The atmosphere was different. No hum of machines, no scurrying of rats. Just a thick, suffocating silence. But even in that silence, there was something. A whisper, faint and ghostly, like the wind was trying to speak. But the words were lost, impossible to understand. A few steps later, Ahmed saw it. A tunnel, old, crumbling, its mouth swallowed by darkness. He switched on his torch and stepped inside. The moment he entered, he felt as if time had stopped. Even the sound of his own footsteps bounced back at him, echoing off the walls like they were alive. Every echo, every breath, every heartbeat, he could feel them in his bones. And then, laughter. A strange, twisted giggle echoed through the tunnel. Ahmed spun around. She was there, the girl in white. But this time, she wasn't standing. She was floating, suspended in the air like a spirit from another world. Her eyes locked onto his, wide, unblinking, cold. Without thinking, Ahmed turned and ran, back toward the path he came from. But when he reached it, it was gone, blocked, as if it had never existed. He turned and ran in the other direction. Another path, another platform, but everything was the same. The same walls, the same door, the same chilling laughter. And in that moment, Ahmed realized the truth. He was trapped in a loop. Suddenly, Ahmed lost his balance and fell to the ground. His eyes grew heavy, and then everything went dark. When his eyes finally opened, he found himself in a hospital room. His head throbbed with pain, and an unfamiliar scent lingered in the air. The steady hum of machines filled the space. Kazu was sitting next to him, looking worried, his face filled with concern. You were missing for 2 days. The police found you unconscious in a storage room at Shibuya Station, Kazu said softly. Ahmed blinked, trying to process the words. The storage room. And that girl? He glanced around, searching for the camera. But it was gone. The camera that had once captured everything now vanished into thin air. His mind swirled with heavy memories. Everything was clear now. Every face, every platform, every shadow. It was like they had all etched themselves into his memory. A few days later, Ahmed returned to Pakistan. But he couldn't go back to his old life. Every night, the same dreams haunted him. The same darkness of Shibuya Station. The same white girl and the lift that never opened. The fear that had once gripped him, it never left. It followed him everywhere. Forever a part of him. A few months later, Ahmed's circle of friends had grown smaller. But one day, his friend spotted his GoPro camera in a Japanese resale shop. At first, he thought it was just an old camera. But when he started watching the video, his breath caught in his throat. Every second of the video was filled with terror and unease, but the last part, it made his heart stop beating. The image from the camera's lens revealed a ghostly figure floating in the air. Ahmed's eyes, now completely red, held an eerie glow. That same red light he had once seen on the girl's face. And then, Ahmed's smile, exactly like hers. A terrifying hidden grin that reflected in his eyes, just like the one he had seen on the platform at Shibuya Station. For a brief moment, it felt as if Ahmed and that girl had become one, like their souls had merged into each other. His friend's face turned pale. He knew now, Ahmed had never truly returned. He had just become another entity in that girl's world. A world where she could reach through time and space, and where anyone could slip through, into the darkness. Shibuya Station is still the same as it always was. Every day, millions of people pass through, taking small steps in their lives, making their way through the hustle and bustle. Bright lights, fast-moving trains, and everything seems normal. But if you ever go there late at night, an unsettling chill will settle in your heart. If you walk near platform number 3, you'll feel something strange. A faint old light will flicker, and a train will appear, slowly coming to a stop. Its headlights dim and worn out, and if you think it's safe to board that train, you'll soon realize that train never returns. That train, which comes back every night with its haunting sound, never sends anyone back. Once you step into that train, you'll never make it home. You'll think everything is fine, but the light, the air, the fear, there's something you'll feel deep in your soul. And then, with that train, your journey will be lost forever. So, if you ever find yourself there, and that train appears, remember, don't get on. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our other horror tales.